welcome Mr. Kenny Wu, Executive Director and CEO of Hutchison Telecommunications Hong Kong Holdings Limited. We also have Miss Akiko Yamashita, digital artist. And we have Miss Xinmei Shen, technology reporter of SCMP, and they will be joining us to discuss, have NFTs changed the concept of art forever? All right, so let's have everyone get ready. Let's see. Please board the stage. Please take a seat when you're ready, and everyone's with us on Zoom. All right, and the stage is all yours.
All right, hi. Thanks, everybody, for joining in person and online. So we've been about 1 year into this explosion of NFTs. But I feel like even though one of the biggest moments in the space is still people's art sale, of course, but a big part of what's dominating our attention at the moment is still cartoon avatars. But then at the same time, of course, a lot of artists have also had a wildly interesting ride, I'm sure. So I hope we could unpack some of that here today with our distinguished guests, Ms. Akiko Yamashita, digital artist who's now based in LA, and also Kenny Koo, CEO of Hutchison. So my first question goes to Akiko. Tell us, what has been your experience with NFTs? How has it changed your life as an artist and your concept of art? And what have you been hearing and observing from your fellow artist friends in the community?
Thank you for having me. It is so exciting to be here online, but really excited. So like you said, this 1 year has been really exciting and crazy for especially artists like us, digital artists. It was never be like this. Like it feels like, finally everybody is watching what we are up to, which is like really exciting thing. But I think I have, started my NFT journey like around 1 year ago, and I knew nothing about it. And then, just like first time minting like a couple artwork was like kind of scary, but like I really enjoyed the aspect of, the fact that everybody is getting in at the same time. So all of my friends who, creates like digital artwork, like, everybody kind of started at the same time. And, some people maybe had a jump start and like, really successful. But I think like it's still really new that, we are still like kind of figuring out like all together. So for me, like, I just see it as a really exciting, like something new thing that, we are getting into.
Great, thanks. Kenny, I wonder, what does NFT mean for the telecom industry? How are you guys reacting and adapting to it?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me being together with all the Jumpstarters, startups, and the honorable guests to participate in this great event. And back to your questions, I think NFT is one of the key elements of the Web 3.0, or called the metaverse, and it definitely brings opportunities and new growth factors to the telecoms industry. And I think I share some figures. The global NFT market is growing rapidly in recent years. And all we know that with the, someone called it $2.5 billion in sales in the first half of 2021, up from 13.7 million in the first half of 2020 only. So you can see that this is a huge potential upside. And Free Hong Kong, as a telecom company, we first stepped into the NFT market in 2021, almost 1 year ago. And we created the Hong Kong's first NFT big band immersive experience by partnering with one of our local partner, Accept. I hope Chris is around, that he hear this. And we deployed the necessary technology to encrypt the digital contents, digital arts, and transform them into NFT. So we are Hong Kong's first operators to launch that kind of, or initiate that kinds of NFT-based project. And NFT may have changed the concept of arts as it has opened the door to digital arts. So it has also somewhat changed the way many businesses operate. For example, like 3 Hong Kong as an operator, we have broadened the use of NFT by accepting crypto payment recently by partnering with one of the global leading cryptocurrency exchange, FTX. And that to allow a customer to purchase NFT art in the NFT marketplaces, as well as the telecom products, and more importantly, to pay the bill of our telecom billing. So I think that's a very creative way how we engage with the metaverse and the NFT. And we have actually created a new spending platform like this in the metaverse. And more importantly is 5G offers the latest and great security features that build in both from the subscriber perspective and the network. So it's a good consideration, a key consideration for all industry, and particularly for the NFT segment. So I think that's very good for the digital art development as well.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Kenny. Now, my next question is for both of you. I'm interested in what you think of the flip side of things. You know, we have all these marketplaces. With them, anybody could essentially easily create a piece of create NFTs from a piece of digital file and monetize that as an NFT. I wonder what you guys think are the downsides to this. What are some of the problems, frustrations that you've experienced maybe, or you've heard from people in the space? Would you like to go first, Kenny?
Okay, thanks. Instead of describing this as a downside, I would say they are challenges and could be gradually overcome over time. First, there are some legal uncertainties, I would say. The novelty of NFT leaves the artist unaware of what legal action should be, say if a virus attacks the artwork. And NFTs are basically smart contract codes, I would say. And the vulnerability of code is known to anyone. So if a small glitch, and one may lose their valuable NFTs. And legal issues pertaining to the IP rights and copyright laws are also one of the formidable setbacks for long-term NFT adoption. And one can encounter conflicts between pre-existing paper contracts and NFTs. So ownership is also another critical concern for NFT adoption, as it is the primary basics for marketing NFTs. So NFTs can be used to perpetuate fraud, but in fact, a number of artists have recently reported discovering their work of sale as NFTs on online marketplace without their awareness and their consent, of course. So it takes a significant amount of computing energy to create the blockchain records. And there's a growing debate around the long-term harm the process is causing the environment, etc. So I think these are all challenges, but we should get some solution to resolve them.
All right. Akiko, I'm really curious about what you think.
Yeah, I think, for me, just like starting, like the beginning was, I think it was probably really difficult to just like wrap my head around. I think, it's such a complicated, like entire system that nobody quite, exactly understand what's going on. Like it was really difficult as a concept. So, and especially, when you are putting your own money into it and, some people treat it as an investment, and obviously there's always a risk involved. And it's really great to hear that actually Kenny is talking about like has some company with the 5G like really making sure that security of things are like that the things are more secure. I think it's really important, but I think still a lot of people are really scared or just not even sure like how to start. So I think like those are, like like when more and more people get in, I think things will get easier. But I think at the moment, it's still like pretty difficult. So I feel like that's just one of the problem. And also like Kenny said, I think the environmental issue is a really huge, problem. I think NFT is not the only thing that's bad for the environment, but the fact that, it's using a lot of electricity, and the fact that anybody can, mint their NFT, like when the bar gets like lower, maybe it's a good thing, but on the flip side, like it means, you might just mint artwork that's kind of just because, you just made something little and just mint every day, like mint hundreds of them every day and see what happens. But, I think once like millions of people do that, then I feel like there's a lot of waste in the, especially energy and the resources. So I feel like it's a really important debate, kind of discussion that, not just artists, but also the companies, the corporations should like really kind of come together to like figure out, because I think again, like, I see this is a really great opportunity for artists. So, I want to like make sure that, everybody will be happy, including the arts.
Can I just add a quick question on top of that, Akiko? I wonder what has been your experience having to deal with cryptocurrencies if you sell your artwork as NFTs. I've heard complaints from artists that the money they receive for their artwork is very volatile in value, as we've seen in the past couple of days. But yeah, so I just wonder what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so, one of the things that I was surprised, like when I first like created, my artwork was just to put on the market, you have to pay what is called gas price, and the gas price will kind of change, not just like based on what the market price is, but it also depends on what time of the day, how many people are using, I guess, the platform. So that was, like, for example, I minted my first work for, say, a couple $100, and I minted another artwork for, half or less than half of the price. So, that like was really like weird to me at the beginning, like, but once it is what it is, and that's how it works. But yeah, and yeah, as well, I think at the beginning of the NFT, when it became really popular, like about a year ago, a lot of artists sold a lot of artwork, and nowadays I'm hearing from my sort of friends, artists, that it is getting like more difficult to sell. So I feel like kind of the first boom is gone, and then now it is kind of becoming sort of a challenge, because now it's so popular. And I think another thing I'm seeing is the not just individual artists, but a lot of like bigger brands, or like a bigger organization, like people who has like really big team. I think like they are really getting into the market. So I think it's sort of challenging, for everyone. It's kind of becoming this attention battle, who gets the most like attention by great marketing. So yeah, I think that's that's been always a challenge for art, like not just digital art, but that's kind of the the challenge as a like individual artist that I see.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are great points. Thanks, Akiko. Kenny, I wonder, what are you working on at 3 Hong Kong related to NFTs? You guys have been doing a lot of great work in terms of 5G. I wonder, could you share more about what's 5G's role in NFT, or even more broadly, this conceptual metaverse market? Thanks.
Yeah, I think first of all, of course, we provide the infrastructure for the connectivity. But to raise the public awareness of NFT or even the metaverse, actually we go beyond an operator's entry point of that, providing connectivity. We have turned For example, we have turned our retail outlets, some of our flagship shops, into a 3 art space gallery. And we organize the art battle competitions where the art pieces of young artists locally and regionally have turned into NFT minted by our partners together. And coming up, we position ourselves to enable different to B and to C customers. For corporate customer, we try to give them a one-stop solutions to provide the NFT marketing solution. In the sense that if they want to mint something in an art piece or for their brand items, we can help them to do the minting. They don't need to take care about the gas fee and all that. So we provide them all these kind of one-stop shop. And for our consumer customer, we might provide a customer loyalty program instead of giving out, the coupons of the supermarket, but we give them, some NFT items as a gift and by, certain mission games and all that. So to make it fun and creative. And helping corporations into the metaverse, we also setting up virtual pop-up stores in the virtual world. So we enable them with the technology. I think 5G and metaverse are interrelated. And the metaverse actually is offering telecoms a chance to monetize our 5G investment in return. And metaverse will need the speed and the security and capabilities of the ultra-fast network to fully optimize the futuristic application and creativity. And in terms of the technologies, I think telecoms operator like us play the role to provide the bandwidth, the storage, and the computing power for the metaverse, for the NFT processing. And high speed is indispensable for VR and AR wearables. Without that, the digital art cannot be, making use of those seamlessly. And open up the possibilities like the VR experiences that include a sense of touch and AR experiences that users have the conversation with the AI servers and the hosts. So low latency of 5G as a feature can also facilitate the trading of the NFT as a blockchain applications, the sell and buy of the digital art pieces, and the creation of the immersive experience, as I mentioned that with the AR and the VR design. And the 5G ultra massive network capability also support metaverse with multiple and in millions of different kinds of sensor devices to enable the use cases and the design of the different immersive experiences. So I think all in all, I think we are very aggressive and very passionate about the new development in metaverse and NFT art development. So we'll continue to support different artists, different organizations and institutions to contribute to this kind of new development.
Great, thank you. My last question is also for both of you. We hear all the time about how NFT will be essential in our futuristic metaverse world. But at the moment, I wonder if you see any value that NFT brings to our physical world. Akiko?
I think it's interesting, right? Because like metaverse is, it's virtual, and so as I guess NFT. But the fact is, like we see a lot of like galleries nowadays doing, NFT galleries, like just like what you guys have over there as well, right? And at the end, our reality is in this, physical world. So to me, I think, art still brings like same, whether it's a painting or, digital canvas, I think it's still like, speak to people's, emotion. And, if you are also like experience that with other people, the whole interaction itself like becomes the, like the value, I think, which is I think, it depends on what the artwork, like the message, like, personally, I like to bring sort of messages to, really embrace the nature, or like really enjoy, our perception. Like, we have such an amazing sort of ability to sense, using not just like eyes, but also, all of the senses that we have. And so I think my point is, even though that's digital or like metaverse or like VR, the whole point, as artists that's creating those for the people is that, we want to change, the world like for the better. So I think, that being said, doesn't it provide a lot of great values?
Yes, great. Thanks, Kenny.
I think we try to enable some brands and different corporations to make use of this kind of technology, or even in the art forms, to help them to promote their brands to the Generation C, for example, the youngster segment, so that would make the people more engaged and more stick with the brands that they go for this kind of marketing tactics. So I think this is very viable values to the physical world, because the NFT art piece not necessarily a crypto native that they have to trade in, certain cryptocurrency, but that could be a free of charge kind of gift or token that to be a tool of engagement with your customer. So I think that's different streams of development that we see the opportunity out there that can create new values to the physical world, not purely in the virtual metaverse.
Yeah, thank you, Kenny. That's all the time we have. Thanks both for your very insightful answers. And on a side note, we at the SCMP are closely covering the space, so don't hesitate to connect and share your innovative, interesting ideas to us. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Big round of applause again. Thank you so much. That was Kenny, Akiko, and Xinmei as our moderator. Thank you once again.